A bit of a slower start this morning. It is 7:30. I did spend the night in a friend's driveway again. Just still hanging around Geelong. I don't plan on being here stacks longer, so I'll just throw all this bedding away, and then I might, rather than disturb my friend this morning, I might do my usual breakfast down at the waterfront. Looks like an appropriate spot for breakfast. Now, this is the spot where there are signs right at the entrance to the car park saying no overnight stays, or no camping. But as I've said before, the rules around Geelong and certainly the Surf Coast, even most of Melbourne, local councils don't allow sleeping in vehicles. It's pretty easy to work out, what's allowed in the council area. All you have to do is type into Google sleeping in vehicles and then the name of the city where you are. What commonly pops up is that you see there's like a permit system for sleeping in vehicles, and that includes private property as well. So that's always a bit of a funny one. So I kind of tacked a longer discussion on this onto one of my videos recently about my philosophy. But just to recap, basically what I do is I have about half a dozen different places around the town where I stay at night. I don't stay in the same one twice in a row. More importantly, my overall philosophy of any of this is not to annoy the locals, right? So keeping out of sight, when you're sleeping in your van, you are just sleeping in the van, right? So you pull up, keep all your doors shut, shut your blinds, go to sleep. No excessive lights, no playing music and all that sort of business. It really is keeping a complete low profile. Call it stealth if you like. I don't like that term because I drive a big blue van with windows on the sides. But at the end of the day, if you're not annoying anybody, then that's kind of the step in the right direction. Even better still if you can't be seen. And certainly all the places I have that I do frequent, no one can see me. Unless they come looking. Look, it can be a little bit tiring, sort of running around different places every night. Certainly not being able to sit down and just relax at night. You're always thinking, right, well, I'll sit here for a while, I'll have my dinner, then I'll have to move somewhere else to sleep, and then in the morning it's like, quick, get up before the sun rises, go somewhere else so I'm not spotted. But if you get tired of it, there are actual free camp places not far out of town. They're about a 30-minute drive. So Geelong has one out, I think it's called Bunjil Lookout, about 30 minutes out of town. There's a few places in the Brisbane Ranges. I think you may have to pay for those. They're a little bit further out of town, but they are in the bush, so nice and quiet. If you head down towards the Surf Coast, again, there's some free camp places sort of up into the hills a bit. They're a bit more tricky to get to, dirt roads and stuff like that. But generally speaking, there is like one within about half an hour of most of these places. One of the options you got in Geelong as well on a more low-cost camping front is the Showgrounds. It's $25 a night to stay there, which I wouldn't say is an insignificant amount of money, especially for someone like me that's trying to live on $300 a week. But it's a hell of a lot better value than the $50 a night that the caravan parks are charging. So you got to see the caretaker on arrival according to that.
Take the next left, then your destination.
Well, there you go, for those that are curious. I guess they've got a number there for after hours. So I can see they're all numbered sites around the outside of the place. You can see that they've got taps on each of them. Not all of them have power, so I guess there's water but not power to all the sites. I can't see the dump station. I thought it was around here somewhere. There it is on the side of the toilet block. Okay. Doesn't say that it's only for paid campers. You would kind of infer that that is the case, but I might have to ring up and just check because there's no free dump points around Geelong, and that would be the only one. Just traversing back over to the bay side of Geelong again. There's a football match on today apparently, and the main road through Geelong is rather busy. Not a bad view. I'm not overly keen on the stone sofa. I'm still reheating stuff from like 4 or 5 days ago. This has been in the freezer. Well, might be a longer microwave session today. It's windy. At least the sun's out there, and it's not too cold. It's actually quite a pleasant day. Heading over to my friend's place now. We'll go and get the bikes out and go for a bit of a ride. Oh, it's windy as. Oh goodness. Ted Wilson Trail. This used to be quite a good loop through the whole park here, but I don't think there's much of it left. Alright, up the rocks. There we go, another view of Buckley's Falls. Probably a worse view this time because the sun's shining in my face. I'll follow you in case you crash. Oh, we got a dog. Back streets of Highton. Oh, headwind now. I was like yesterday down the surf coast too, all the wattle on both sides of the road. It's quite nice. Unsafe for cyclists. It's funny how it only became unsafe when they made a path here. We used to ride this well before it was unsafe. I think that sign's for the path on the left there, not this one.
Oh, that's right. It's on the left.
It is definitely on the left side. So funny story, this concrete here. You'll notice 2 stripes along that. I know who laid both those down. And the one on that side matches that red bike that I just gave you. Well, the one on the right was actually quite deep because he went through a few hours before me, and then I came through. But bloody hell, we came through in the dark and could not even see it when you came over the hill there. There was no bunting or anything saying that it was wet concrete. And next thing you know, slosh. Sorry, Geelong City Council. The bush is reclaiming the path. Now the really steep bit. Oh, that's pretty impressive. I'm going to get round this first corner. Oh, that's okay. Not as fast as usual, got a bit of a headwind. Nice view from up here. There we go. Highton, the bay. Yang's in the distance, all the landmarks. So typically we used to come down here very, very fast, but Flip informs me that the trail has possibly changed. Oh, we'll see what happens. Oh shit. Oh, windy! Woo! Oh yeah, that's not as good. Yay! Oh shit! Yeah, that corner's not the same. I kind of missed the corner.
I did entirely. I just went over the grass all over the place.
It's like a metre further out now. It's so much better on the inside.
Isn't it?
Yeah, well, never mind. There's the Barwon River snaking through. That's nice. That's a bit of a bog. Okay. John, you go first.
Ah, thanks. Alright. Are you at least videoing?
Absolutely. I've got the evidence when you fall flat in your face. Hey, nice. One very old bridge. Heading back now. Got the big climb up the hill to get back into suburbs of Geelong. That's a nice view as the sun goes down. Well, I've still got a few hours, but hey. So just as we're coming back, Fleet was saying, oh, it's a really good spot up here on top of the hill to watch the sunset. It got me thinking, this is a really nice spot that I know to go and watch the sunset. So that's what I'm just rushing down to. Alright, check this place out. This is nice. Must be so many frogs in these little pools. Cool spot. Got a slow Sunday morning start, just hitting the road about, what is it now, 9 o'clock. So heading up to Melbourne, and we'll see what happens from there on in. When I'm budgeting all my expenses, my budget week is from a Sunday to a Saturday, so I kind of been putting off making more purchases, given I had already consumed my $300 for last week. So I'm heading straight to the supermarket right now to try and stock up on a few bits and pieces. And I bought some fuel a little bit earlier, so that was $116 in already. I'll have blown this week's budget in the first day, I'd say. Gotta love a Woolworths that has a high roofed undercover car park. This is awesome. Well, I tried to go down to Sandridge Beach, which is one of my favourite spots to go and sit during the day, and it was packed. I don't know, it must have been something on. All the street parks were gone and the car park was definitely jam-packed. Anyway, so I'm coming down to the middle of an industrial area. This is Fisherman's Bend at the end of Lorimer Street, so there's a lot of little perpendicular parking spots here up against the river. I think if you go up here a bit further, you can actually see the water as well. Quiet on weekends only, because it's a big industrial area with a lot of trucks coming past. I reckon I can sit about here and just loiter for a while, have lunch, whatever else. Time for a relaxing day today. Really windy again, typical Victorian weather at this time of year. But at least the sun's out and it's not too cold actually. We've got that really strong northerly hot weather system that's sort of warming us up a little down here at the moment. So just get myself organised in a spot, you know, just hiding somewhere in Melbourne, maybe, or maybe not. So Sunday's come and gone. I basically caught up with my son after lunch. We went into a camera shop in the CBD. I'm considering buying a new video camera, not to replace the GoPro, but to replace my silly little thing that I'm using for the zoom shots, because its video quality is really bad. It's only 1080p, and I want to get a 4K camera. So I think I found a nice little camera that we're keen on. Took a few little test shots inside the shop yesterday, and came back, had a look at them, and I've had the night to sit around and procrastinate on whether or not I'm going to buy it. So I think this morning will be full commit. Just taking out my rubbish. I playing the drive around game this morning. It's probably about the third time I've moved. I'm under the Balti Bridge here down in back of Docklands, mainly because I want to go into the CBD and pick up this camera this morning. So this spot's got 3-hour free parking and it's not far from a tram stop. I actually just came under the bridge here to have a shower. I'll show you why in a minute. I don't have a grey water tank, so my water does go out underneath the van, but I am very conscious of where that water goes out. So where I am here, the water can actually run out into grass and stuff. It's not going into the drains, not going onto water courses and things like that. As I said before, you know, parking around Melbourne, technically you're not allowed to. Well, no, technically you're not allowed to. They do say that, you know, it's a sort of a permit system. Some areas just outright say no, there's no sleeping in vehicles. Anyway, you know, you always find somewhere to hide, somewhere inconspicuous. I moved about 3 a.m. in the morning last night, because generally a lot of the places around here are very noisy. So I slept in one spot for part of the night up until about 2 or 3 a.m. when I woke up. I've kind of had a lot on my mind recently over the last few months, and I don't sleep well right now. So you know, this middle of the night waking up thing just has become the norm. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to reset my body clock and actually sleep through the night, which would be pleasant. But anyway, so that wasn't a drama. I just moved from where I was, which was a spot that was not too noisy at the beginning of the night, but I know it was going to get very noisy from about 4 a.m. onwards. And then I came to a different spot where I'm pretty sure was quiet in the morning, but was very noisy in the evenings. A lot of hoons hanging around, basically. And then my final move was down here underneath the Baldy Bridge, so I could have breakfast, have a shower, get ready and everything. And now, for my next move, I'm going to drive a little bit closer up the road to where the tram stop is. All right, should be safe sitting there, I hope. Okay, doors are open. Let's go. Unboxing time. Big moment. Look at that. Fantastic little pop-out screen and stuff. I'll charge it up and then later on today we can get some pictures. So I'm just heading back down to Port Melbourne now. I'm going to go down to Sandridge Beach and sit there for a while, and then at some point I'll get my new camera out and take some footage, but the weather's just rubbish, so everything looks horrible and grey. Anyway, maybe when the sun pops out we'll be able to get a few nice pics. Alright, time to go and have a play with the new toy. So I guess the first thing to check out is the quality of the microphone in the wind. It's windy, surprise, surprise. Nice view of the city from here. Just catch the tops of the buildings. One thing for sure is that I'm going to need a new tripod because this $6 Kmart job's just not cutting the cheese anymore. Interesting thing, that port over there is largely automated. I might wander around, we'll get a bit of a shot of what's going on. It's pretty cool. My intention is not to use this one for handheld shots. Yeah, I think it's a bit unwieldy compared to the GoPro. It's big, a bit of a nuisance to use, and yeah, I think I'm going to struggle with the levelling of it. So it's going to be a bit more wobbly than the GoPro footage is. But really, the main reason why I bought it is to do some tripod stuff. All those things where I've been zooming in with my pathetic little tiny camera and getting really bad quality pictures. This will definitely fill that gap more than adequately. Picture quality should be pretty good. So engineering geek out time. These big cranes that take the containers off the ships, they're actually remote control, so there's nobody sitting in these. Apparently the control was a kilometre or so away, somewhere up in the head of the port, and these are all controlled by a whole stack of cameras and things, or by people watching a whole stack of cameras. So this is a little transfer track, basically takes the containers from where the big cranes dump them off the edge of the boat out to the sort of holding yard. And these are fully automated, so there's actually nobody driving these things. And there's quite a few of them, you can see them all sort of buzzing around all over the place there. Totally automated. Nobody in control, they're doing their own thing. That's awesome. So this is the outward side of the port here where the trucks come in to get loaded. You can see the, or loaded and unloaded I guess, the stacking cranes, the automated stacking cranes here, plucking the containers off the backs of the trucks, and they take them and stack them up over there, ready to be either loaded or unloaded onto the next ship. Really is fascinating stuff. You know, all this is fully automated. There's no people in these. Just doing its own thing. How cool is that? So I'm right down here at the end of the port, Webb Port I think it is, or Victorian International Container Terminal. So this basically pokes out into Port Phillip Bay. The Yarra River is just on the other side of that little jetty there in front of us. And what we're looking at way over there is Williamstown in the distance. The Singing Bridge is pretty quiet today. One of my previous videos I came up here on my bike right at the very end of the video, and it was really windy, and this thing was just whistling and making all sorts of noise. It was really quite cool. Very loud though. I can see my house from here. More playing with the new camera. Thought I'd come out for a wander at night and we'll just give it a bit of a try out in the low light situations. Should be a lot better than a GoPro. It's 20 past 6, been on the road for about 20 odd minutes now, just on the freeway heading sort of southish out of Melbourne, so down the, what is this road? Monash Freeway. Getting out of town. I am heading over to the coast road now, so I'm going to go out through Sale and Lakes Entrance, places like that, and drive up the coast of New South Wales over the coming days. I employed the arrive late, leave early strategy last night, almost to the extreme. Sort of got in where I was sleeping well after 12 o'clock, after wandering around the town. Got back to the van just before 11, I guess. And the original spot that I was in, while there was practically no one in the street, it was in a city and there was some passing traffic and then some passing loud people. I just wasn't relaxed, so I thought, let's move on somewhere else. So I'm anticipating I'm going to need a few little sleeps during the day because I'd only got about 4 hours sleep last night. Anyway, so as I said, heading out of town, and that means I'm going to find some new places along the east coast of New South Wales. Won't be a massive long journey up there because I do need to get back to Sydney. I need to get some stuff done on this van before I have to move house for my mum. So a bit of a limiting factor on my time there, but hey, we'll drop into some nice spots and have a bit of a look and see where we go from there. As always, thank you very much for watching, and thank you everybody for the support. Really appreciate everybody liking the videos and commenting, and that just helps me grow a bigger audience, which is always really encouraging to get out and do more stuff. So I'll be back soon, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.